Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the 20-minute fashion distraction. I am Jackie Jenkins. You know what we do every Wednesday night. We talk total fashion, and tonight is no different. I trust that everyone had a wonderful week. And tonight we are actually going to jump in and talk a subject that is dear and dear and a subject that you've heard before because I've actually had Nicole Ndzibah on, I guess it was, oh my goodness, now almost 6 months ago. But I am going to bring my guest Nicole on and we are going to talk about caftan joy. So hold on, let me bring on Nicole. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Jackie.
Happy Wednesday. So good to see you.
Happy Wednesday to you. I'm so glad to be here again. And hey, cuties.
So you bring so much joy and so much energy. And I wanted to
ignore the trains passing outside. I'm hearing the horns.
And actually, Van's here, my specialist here, Claudia's here, my sister Jocelyn's here, and the Caftan Cuties are here. So this is awesome. So I wanted to, in addition to us going through some tips and some fashion ideas around caftans, I wanted to take a minute and celebrate you. Because this is I guess, 2 or 3 eves away from your anniversary of the Caftan Cuties, which is amazing. By way of background, I've known Nicole, oh my gosh, now probably 5 years. And I know Nicole from the academic world and also know Nicole from her work in the fashion space and have most recently got a chance to know Nicole in terms of her community building through her Caftan Cuties. So there's a lot of wonderful, wonderful connections. And I just wanted to pay a little homage to you. And what I did was I went on your Instagram and I pulled up a few of my favorite Caftan looks with you. I just wanted to celebrate you on your
so exciting.
So here, I could figure out how to make it a video, but we're gonna click through quickly. So this first pic is you in what I call all your joy. I love you in the orange and the big smile there. That was great.
I love that one.
I love this pic, and this touches on something that we talked about. I guess it was over the weekend in terms of caftans come in different sizes, long, tall, right? And I thought this was a great example of this.
I gotta dig that one out again.
It's very cute. Very cute. And I love this picture because I call this Caftan serious.
Yes.
Very, very serious.
I was working that day.
But still very stylish. Very lovely.
Thank you.
And as we celebrate anniversary, I just had to pull up your first pic that you posted on Instagram.
Yes, it makes me very emotional because that was the first Caftan Saturday.
Yeah, no, I remember. So I just really wanted to say congratulations to you, the wonderful community of cuties that you've created, and just the joy that you bring. And I think what's really wonderful about it is, once again, seeing a vision as we're sitting home and saying, okay, there's more to the world than sweats. There's more to the world than grays and blacks. And so let's mix it up with some color and let's do it with style. I see my mom is here. I see Mita's here. Hey. So I want to get to my first question. And I know the answer, but the audience wants to know the answer as well. What was the inspiration behind starting the Cuties?
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you as well, because I know you have been doing this for a year too. So congratulations, because I know with both of us, we just said we're going to do a thing and we did a thing. And you don't know if people are going to show up and if people are going to even care about what you care about. So I really admire your dedication with every Wednesday being on. I get the alert. It's on my phone's calendar to remind me every Wednesday. And sometimes I'm in the middle of something and can't hop on and I watch it afterwards, or sometimes I'm there live. But I love that it pops up on my calendar and I'm like, oh, it's time for my 20-minute fashion distraction. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you so much for this platform and inviting me back again. So just like everyone else, this time last year, we were, especially if you're in New York, because we were a little bit ahead of the other states with this, we were already in the midst of our shelter in place orders. Our governor was not playing and was like, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. So just about everyone I know in New York at this point had their last day at work, even if they didn't know it was going to be their last day at work. So we were a couple weeks into trying to find things to fill the time. So virtual parties, birthday parties, happy hours, all this stuff that we said that we would do because, while we're home for a little while, we'll just do these fun things. And we didn't realize at the time that, it was going to be, here we are a year later. And a year ago, this past weekend, I went to a virtual tea with some sorority sisters of mine, and my older sister, who's one of my sorors, was at this virtual tea, and we're all talking about being home, and she said how she was going to start wearing caftans as her wear at home, wear to work, because we were like, talking about how that day was probably the first day we had all dressed up being at home. And she said that she had just ordered a couple more caftans from Groupon and how she was going to start wearing them to work. And we were like that. She was going to embrace her inner Mrs. Roper. And we were like, oh, that's so cute. Ha, ha, ha. And I don't know, something in my head was like, that's cute. That's fun. I have one. And I don't know what made me decide to say, I'm going to tell ask my friends that, the following Saturday, let's have a Caftan Saturday. And I put this whole, post on Facebook saying, next Saturday, I declare it a Caftan day. Shed your whatever's become your quarantine uniform, your sweats, your pajamas, and let's wear caftans for the day. And that memory actually popped up on my phone today in Facebook, because today is a year since I put up that post saying, let's do this on Saturday. Let's all wear caftans, post your pictures, use hashtag cutie in a caftan, and post them on social media so we can follow the hashtag. And one of my, only had one caftan at the time that one of my really, really, really close friends had gifted me years ago. And we talked about one day being caftan ladies. We were like, when are we going to be those women that just float around, the house? And I was like, I know I have one. I just got to dig it out. And then I had another friend who was like, in that short period of time between the 31st and the 4th, which was going to be the Saturday, like, you're going to start a group because I don't know all your friends and I want to be able to see all the pictures. So can you just start a group? So on the 3rd, I put together the group and just, clicked to add a bunch of people to it. And on the 4th, which was the Saturday last year, was our very first Caftan Saturday. And it just grew from there. I thought it was going to be a one-day thing and we were going to post our pictures, and people were like, mine didn't come in time, or I don't have one, but this looked like a lot of fun because I made a video afterwards of all the cuties who participated wearing their caftans, and people were like, I'm going to be I'll do the next one. And I hadn't really intended on there. I wasn't really thinking ahead to creating a series. I was just going to do it for one day because I had already done day parties, night parties, and all these other things. So I figured this would just be another flash in the pan idea that I do. And no, people are like, when's the next one? I want to join in on the next one. So I was like, all right, so let me nurture this group. And then something that ended up being a blessing in disguise is I was furloughed a couple of weeks after that. Like, I think that week we got the notice that, we would be working the next 2 weeks and then we would be furloughed. So it actually gave me a lot of time to nurture the group, really engage in the group. I still to this day try to comment on every single post that people put in the group, because it really did go from just being a group where we can do like a photo dump so that everybody could see our pictures to you use the word community. And that's really what it morphed into, was this community of people who uplift each other. There we went from like about 50 people who joined that first week and maybe 25 who actually posted pictures to over 1,400 cuties now. And yay. And
around the world.
Around the world. They're on this continent, they're in Canada, they're in the Caribbean, they're in all parts of Asia, they're in Middle East, like they're all over UK, they're from everywhere. And I don't even personally know everybody, which I think is the beauty of it, because it means that it organically grew. And I would have never imagined that when I put that post up a year ago today.
You just put it out there and look, but you're such a community builder anyway that I didn't even think about
it. I was just like, okay, let's try something fun. Let's just do it. And yeah, it's here we are.
Wow. And I see some amazing comments about walking on faith, creating joy, Yvonne, floating fabulous. I'm having a Philly moment because Ray Jones from Philly, a long time friend of mine, is here, and I appreciate you, Ray, for showing up. I see Denise is here, Jocelyn's here. Oh, this is just wonderful, and Jackie's here. It's just a lot of great joy all around the Caftan. So one question that because we posted a few Caftans this week, so people were had a chance to see us in our Caftans, and I got a few questions about what are some tips to figure out what Caftan would work best on you.
So I told you I started with one. I don't even know. I've lost count with how many I have at this point.
I was about to say, what number are you up to?
Over 50. The last time I counted, I
love it. I love it.
It's over 50. And there's probably someone, that ship that was stuck in the Suez Canal. There's probably someone there that's on their way to me because I place orders and I place them from all over the world. So sometimes one will show up and I'm like, I forgot I ordered this kaftan from Morocco. So it's been hit or miss with me. I buy high and I buy low. So I'll buy kaftans from, $10 Zulily kaftans, and I'll buy kaftans that are like Asa kaftans. And this is for those who like reality TV, the Shahs of Sunset. One of the ladies from there, Asa, she created her own store in LA. So she creates some beautiful kaftans I've ordered from her. So I hit high, I hit low. And what I found is sometimes it's hit or miss because the fits are very different, right? And also in speaking with a lot of my cuties, everyone has things that are different that they like. So the one thing that I think that's universal, that's beautiful about kaftans is they are forgiving because they're not our body conscious dresses. You don't need shapewear to wear them. You can breathe, you can eat. But some are more voluminous than others. And depending on how you want to look, you might find that some have too much material and are too flowy. And then you might want one that's a little bit more fitted. So there are some brands like Grassfields that actually have sizes. They go from like 2 into plus sizes. So you can actually buy a size, but then there are those like the one that I have on, which is like a one size fits all. So I don't mind the volume. Although there are some that I have that are way too voluminous that if I ever get out of this house and can do a kaftan swap, I'll be bringing them so that people can. But it depends on how you want it to fit. There are some that are custom made. I've actually met a designer on Instagram who custom made a kaftan for me, which was beautiful because whereas when you buy off the rack, you have all this material, her kaftans, she actually has a stitch that kind of is stitched around your body shape. Nice. So you see that kind of shape with it, but then you have the bat wing to give you the movement. Right. So you're going to find that with like a lot of custom fits. And then you can also make it fit. So I have some that I think are too big, but then I'll belt them to give myself a waist. I'll put a big belt around them and then like blouse it. If it's too long, I'll blouse it and make it a little bit shorter and belt it with a big belt or put a skinny belt around it. And, you can dress it up.
So how do you do the belt with the swing arm though?
Well, that's the beauty of when it is big, because when it is big, you can kind of belt it at your natural waist and blouse it, and it doesn't really restrict you from moving your arm around. It becomes more of like a dolman sleeve. Okay. So you can do it because you have all that material. You can just it basically gathers that material, but still leaves you enough space to move around.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, well, because I'm slightly vertically challenged. And so one of the things that I realized is that, and I did in preparation for the week, I was trying to find kaftans, and a lot of what I found were one size. And then when I went and kind of read like the dimensions, they were not my one size. And so, but there's a question here in terms of, well, when will your shop go live?
I'm just reading questions. I'm going to say from your mouth to God's ears. And if those who are listening are praying people. I am trying to work on some things, but I'm also trying to be very deliberate about what I'm working on, because I listen to my cuties and they have a lot of feedback about the things that they've found on the market that they've bought that they love. And they also speak about some of the features that they wish they could have. Jackie and I, when we had our kind of pre-meet, she was talking about, shorter sizes for the fun-sized woman. So I have a lot of ideas, and I will tell you that I'm definitely in a stage where I'm trying to flesh out to see what are the best ideas, because I don't want to produce something that is just like, let me order some stuff from overseas, slap a label in it, and sell it to people. I really want to listen to what it is that the people that have been, feeding into me for the year have been talking about. I hear all the time in the group, I love this caftan. I wish it had some pockets. I love this caftan, but it's so long. And I love this caftan. Or, I know people who are like, I would wear them just for dressy occasions. I like really embellished items. So I'm like, everything I hear, I'm like, notebook out, let me take some notes. So I will say stay tuned. And since you're asking, I hope that when I do launch something, I'm not going to say if, I'm going to say when I do launch something, that, you all will support me, because this will definitely be the first time that I venture into anything that's even remotely entrepreneurial. So like I said, from your mouth to God's ears.
Well, that's awesome. And you will have to come and be on the show and show off.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm there.
And I see a comment from Tina mentioning that one of her favorite purchases from Africa was actually a caftan. And so, I just think one of the things that's really lovely is that there are so many options to think about in
really
terms of purchasing.
Really are. And in my research about caftans, I wrote like a whole piece about it, because there's been a version of a caftan pretty much through all the empires in every continent on earth, probably except for North America. I found a version of a caftan that even within Africa, in the different countries, everyone has their own version of this garment. We use the term in the fashion industry, caftan with a C, to kind of embody that whole look and feel. But when you're looking at different, the kimono in Japan is a form of a caftan. The bubu in West Africa is a form of a caftan. A kaftan in the Middle East is a form of a caftan. So there's so many different interpretations throughout the, just dating back to like early Ottoman Empire, and there were places where wearing caftans were a form of royalty, and then when we got to the US, it became, this big fashion piece for the red carpet. And now, depending on how you look at it, there's some people who are like, oh yeah, I wear those to the beach, but I'm here to normalize wearing caftans for everyday wear. Like,
sure. And Claudia is raising a great point about trend and how to bring it. So monochromatic, same one color, has been big. What are your thoughts, and where can we find that in a caftan?
I have purchased, and I almost wore one today, but I was going to iron it. And plus I was thinking about maybe wearing it for my celebration on Saturday. I finally, for the first time, bought well, this is not true. My first time purchasing solid color caftans was very recently. I have two all white ones that I bought last summer, both from H&M. Believe it or not, both were from H&M, but I haven't had like a solid colored one. And I've had some of my friends who have said, I love the whole look of it. I just don't do prints. I don't do patterns. I don't, I want something solid. And Grass Fields, it's grass-fields. They are an online shop. It was formed by two twin sisters from Cameroon, who created their shop a few years ago. And my sister, the one who said she was going to start wearing caftans, actually introduced me to their brand. And they launched a line a few weeks ago, actually probably over a month ago now. And they had these solid caftans, these beautiful solid caftans. And I actually bought a kind of magenta colored one and a teal colored one. And then I also got a gold colored one from them that's belted. So it's they are out there, but they're in very short supply, because most of the manufacturers will make them with like these either placed prints or like very, medallion type prints, like what Lola's wearing behind me. It is very hard to find solids. So again, that's one of those things that I took out my notebook and was like, okay, solids, because it's very hard to find just like a really nice solid colored caftan. or if you find it, it's like one color.
Yes.
But it's, you know, it's really, really hard. Or I find them in beach cover-ups that are, you know, like thin ones. And I'm like, not one that's meant to really be worn outside in public, unless you layer it over something.
So put in your notebook, because there are quite a few, like, people are excited that you talked about the solid color. So just something to keep in mind. And Judith, I hear you in terms of I had to get a custom one. Oh, your cousin Elise is here. So if although I'm hoping that everybody in the audience is a cutie, already member of the Caftan Cuties, but if you're not, Nicole, can you tell our audience how they can become a Caftan Cutie?
Yes, you just have to join the group. So we have a group. It started from a group. Now we're here on Facebook. The name of the group is Caftan Cuties. So Caftan, let's see how my name is on the screen. CAFTAN CUTIES, Caftan Cuties on Facebook. Just send in a request and I get the request and I will bring you into the group. The rules are that we are drama free, and it's funny, I never had to state that. We're just drama free. We don't discuss drama in there. We don't talk about things. People put on their caftans, they take pictures, they post their pictures, and without any prompting, everyone just piles on with these like affirmations for these pictures of people that they've never met. So if you want to join the Caftan Cuties, just Google us, or not Google us, but put in your search bar in Facebook, Caftan Cuties, and send me a request to join. If you know someone who's already in the group, they can actually invite you in. Anyone who's a cutie who is listening right now, if you have friends that you believe are, you know, this is their tribe, invite them to join us. And I will tell you, we have a big celebration coming up on Saturday. It is going to be a Zoom, and whether you are a cutie that's been with me for a year or you're joining today, all are invited. There's an event link within the group that you can go onto an RSVP and then register to get the Zoom link. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's some giveaways. There'll be some discounts announced from some of the brands that we've shopped with. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Wonderful. Well, Nicole, I can, of course, we're at like 20 minutes.
I thought we went over last time too.
Well, but this just means you have to come back. And I want to say first, thank you to the audience for showing up. I'm so appreciative that on Wednesday nights, of all the things that you can do, you choose to spend it with me. So I am grateful. And to my guests, I say there are things that we cannot get back in life, and time is one of them. So I appreciate you for making the time and for sharing your joy. And we are looking forward to hearing more about what the year brings for you in terms of that shop. And so I will keep my sophisticated curation group informed. And hi, Angela. And the petite. Okay, so there's questions that you have to go back and answer.
I'll go back and read them.
You'll have to answer. So we're going to close out for this week. We talked cuties today. Next Wednesday, we're going to be talking about making boss moves in a fashionable way. And so we will have Tania Lee will be coming and sharing how she transitioned in her career and what that did for her in terms of branding. So more to come. And everybody have a wonderful week. And I will see you next week. Hang on, Nicole.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
All right.